Evaṃ me sutaṃ ekaṃ samayaṃ bhagavā Sāvantiyaṃ viharati jetavane anātapindikaṃ ārāme Atako aññatara devata abhiṅkantaya rantiya abhiṅkantavanna kevalakampaṃ jetavanaṃ obāsenvā yena bhagavate nupasaṅkamī Upasaṅkaminvā bhagavantaṃ abhivadenvā ekamantaṃ antāsi ekamantaṃ titākosā devatā bhagavantaṃ gātāya anjabāsi Bahudeva manunsāca mangalāni acintayuṃ akankamānā sontānaṃ brohi mangalamuntamaṃ asevanāca bālānaṃ panditānaṃ ca sevanā Pujāca pujanīyānaṃ etaṃ mangalamuntamaṃ Patirūpadesavāsoca pumbēca katapuññatā Anta sammā panidhica etaṃ mangalamuntamaṃ Bahu sancanca simpanca vinayoca susiṅkito subhasitaca yavāca etaṃ mangalamuntamaṃ Mātā pitu upanthānaṃ puntadāraṃsa saṅgaho Anakulāca kammantā etaṃ mangalamuntamaṃ Dānaṃca dhammacariyaca ñātakānaṃca saṅgaho Anavanjāni kammāni etaṃ mangalamuntamaṃ Ārati virati pāpā manjapānāca saññamo Ampamādoca dhammesu etaṃ mangalamuntamaṃ Gāravoca nivātoca santuntīca kataṃ yutā Hālena dhamma savanaṃ etaṃ mangalamuntamaṃ Khantīca sovacansatā samanānaṃ ca dansanaṃ Hālena dhamma
Namo Buddhaya, and good evening to all brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Welcome again to another session of our SGPA Wednesday live Dhamma sharing over SGPA Facebook page as well as YouTube. This evening, Venerable Ariya-dassana will be sharing with us part 10 of his talk on the teachings of all the Buddhas. in accordance to Dhammapada verse 183 and 184. That is, avoid evil, do good, purify the mind. And before we start, a brief introduction of Venerable Ariya-dassana for those who are tuning in for the first time. Venerable is no stranger to those who tune in regularly to his Hokkien Dhamma sharing over Thursday morning in his own personal Facebook page. Prior to Venerable renunciation, Venerable was working in accounting, company secretarial practice, and insurance. In 1999, Venerable joined a novelship program organized by the late Chief Reverend Dr. K. Sri Dhammananda on his 80th birthday. The program had inspired Venerable to pursue more seriously his learning and the practice of the Buddha Dhamma. And in 2012, Venerable went to Myanmar to further his practice and also was renounced as a Bhikku there. Venerable Arya is now back in Penang in his center called Vimuthi Vanam in Aitam, after recently spending 3 months Vasa in SGBA. Venerable traveled quite frequently on invitation to other centers in Malaysia. And Venerable is currently in Taiping Bodhi Lanka Ram Buddhist Association. And this talk was pre-recorded there. Anyway, Venerable spent 1 week there and just got back to Penang. And Venerable will be taking your question live from Vimutti Wana Penang after this sharing. So do feel free to type in your questions in the comments box, and Venerable will take the questions after this sharing. So, Brother Yik, over to you.
Hotu. We are back for another session. Before we start, we do our Tisarana and Panchasila. I'm sorry I cannot bow to the Buddha image because the setup here is a bit rickety. Okay. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhaṃ saranam gacchami. Dhammam saranam gacchami. Sangham saranam gacchami. Dutiyampi Buddham saranam gacchami. Dutiyampi Dhammam saranam gacchami. Dutiyampi Sangham saranam gacchami. Tatiyampi Buddham saranam gacchami. Tatiyampi Dhammam saranam gacchami. Tatiyampi Sangham saranam gacchami. Pancasila. Panatipata Viramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami. Adinadana Viramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami. Kamisu Michachara Viramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami. Musavada Viramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami. Suramiraya Majapamadatana Viramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami. Apamanadina Sampadita. Strive on with diligence. Okay. I'm now at typing Bodhiram Buddhist temple, 130 years old, 33 years old temple. Okay. Last session we stopped at this story, Aputaka. There is do not regret after doing dana. So today we continue with another 2 points when you are doing, especially when you are doing dana. The first point is actually eaten food can be offered to the monk. Last time in Sravasti, there was a Brahmin who is very generous and always offer alms food to the monk, to the Buddha, and all his disciples who happen to come by his house. So one day, as the Buddha saw that the Brahmin and the wife can attain to the third stage of sainthood. Not only first stage, or third stage of sainthood. So he purposely went to the Brahmin's house. So as the Brahmin was eating, unfortunately his back was facing outside. So he can't see the Buddha. He can't see the Buddha. But the wife can tell him. But the wife purposely don't want to tell him. He don't want the Buddha to, even though they are very pious, but the husband is more pious than the wife. So the wife, when he saw the Buddha, he purposely poured all the food onto the husband's plate, so that all already eaten, partly eaten. So the Brahmin cannot offer any food to the monk, to the Buddha. Then, to prevent the Brahmin from seeing the Buddha, he purposely stand behind the Brahmin to block the Brahmin, in case the Brahmin turn sideways or turn around, he can see the Buddha. So after some time, the Buddha was still standing there. So the wife sneaked to behind and told the Buddha, no food today, no food today, no food already. So he asked the Buddha to leave, don't disturb the husband. So the Buddha didn't move. The Buddha instead shake his head. So then the wife giggled. Then the husband turned around and said, hey, how come the Buddha, wow, he scolded the wife, you ruined me. How come the Buddha is here? You don't want to tell me? You try to block the Buddha, and for me not to see the Buddha, so you ruin me. So what he do? All the food has been partially eaten by him already. So he brought the face, sorry Buddha, the food all has been eaten, has been partially eaten. Then the Buddha said, partially eaten also can be offered. Not yet eaten also can be eaten. So he was very pleased with the Buddha. So he poured everything for the Buddha. So you see, sometimes put some monks they say out, but the Buddha himself accept eaten food. This is in Dhammapada 367. If you are not sure, you can check out Dhammapada 367. So after that, the Buddha delivered a discourse to the Brahmin, and both the Brahmin and the wife attained the third stage of sainthood. Another point I want to point out is food that is offered to other people, for example, if you take the food to pray to ancestor, pray to other gods, you can still use the food to offer to the monk. I know there are some monks who say, cannot, you offer to somebody already dirty already, especially when the food is offered at the cemetery, you take back, they say the food is dirty. But the Buddha already said can. This is from the Vinaya, not from the Dhammapada. This Vinaya number 40. Vinaya is a rule for the monk. What happened is at one time, there was a certain monk who used to stay around the cemetery. So he doesn't want to meet people. He don't want people to give him a lot of offerings. So he tried to live frugally. He stayed near the cemetery so that people would not disturb him. So every day he will go around the cemetery and look for food. Because almost every day got people go and offer food to the ancestor to pray, maybe on their birthday or maybe on the 7th day or what, they offer food to the ancestor. So after the people left, he will go and take the food. So for very long time, he has been surviving on this sort of food. Food offered to the ancestor. After that, they just leave aside and he go and take up the food. Who knows, dog may go and eat before. Then after some time, people start to notice and complain. Then after that, only Buddha introduced the rule that all food to be eaten must be offered. If nobody offer you the food, cannot be eaten. Even though it's left aside, nobody want already, we also cannot take. So this is the rule for the monk. So food you offer to the god, to the ancestor before, you can still offer. But of course, most people would not want because they want it to be clean food. But Buddha doesn't matter. Buddha allow that the food from the other offerings can be offered. Okay, that ends our talk on dana. So now we move on to the next one, sila. We have completed dana. So number second one on the kusala dhamma is sila. Sila means morality. For lay people, you are expected to observe the 5 precepts, Pancha Sila. Like just now you have recited. For the benefit of those who don't understand the Pancha Sila, the first one is abstain from killing. Panatipata, Veramani Sikha, Padam Samadhyami is abstain from killing. But you have to notice, you have to note that this is a training rule. This is not a commandment where you are not totally not allowed to do. So this is especially good for newcomer. Sometimes when newcomer first go to your temple and they habitually they kill, please don't frighten them. For example, they kill a mosquito or anything. Cannot kill. You're frightening away people because what you recite, panatipata, is taking away the life. Veramani Sikha means you abstain from. Padam Samadhiyami is you take it into training. Panatipata Veramani Sikha Padam Samadhiyami is you undertake this rule. So you undertake this precept to abstain, to train yourself to abstain from killing. So if newcomer, they are habitually killing, you just remind them, don't frighten them off. After they go to other religion you see, just embrace the God, only they go to heaven. It's not such simple. So remember, this is a training rule. So you slowly, you don't kill because of understanding. You understand why. Number one, you understand why beings are being reborn as ants, mosquito, cockroaches. It's because of their past karma, past bad karma, that they are reborn as such a being. So we must have compassion on them. So we don't simply kill them. Buddha don't allow us to, the monk don't allow us to kill anything. Even the larvae, mosquito larvae, if it is, we can find some larvae in water container, we are not allowed to throw it away because there is life already. So normally what I do, if I found container containing live lava, I go and pour it into other place where there is water. Because if there is life, we cannot throw it away. Then we don't kill, not because of fear or punishment. Some people say, you kill her, you go to hell. You kill her, you kill a lot of mosquito, maybe next time you born as mosquito. Not because of fear of punishment or for reward. You abstain from killing, next time you go to heaven. Not for this punishment and reward. We abstain from killing due to our understanding and our compassion. Some people say you don't kill, after the mosquito come and bite us, we got dengue, we die. Or if we throw away this larvae, it won't become mosquito, then we prevent it from stinging other people or sting ourselves. So you must understand why got larvae, because got container. You got container that collect water. Sometimes empty bottle you throw outside. When it rains, you collect water. If you don't notice it, after some time, mosquito go and lay eggs, and later become larva, and later on mosquito. So we try to look out for this empty container. As if possible, throw it away or turn it over so that it cannot collect water. Then some people kill because for fun. People kill for fun, yes. People go fishing, not because they need to eat the fish, but because for fun. Sometimes for competition. See who can catch more fish, who can catch bigger fish. Or sometimes the local council say, okay, you shoot 1 crore, we give you how much? 1 ringgit for 1 crore, or 5 ringgit for 1 crore. So you go and shoot. So if you understand Buddhism, understand the precept, you won't shoot for fun. And some people shoot for fun in a group one. For example, usually the royalties, especially in England, they go out, they shoot deer, then people in a group go and block the deer so that the deer can't run away, so that the royalty can shoot. So this is killing in a group. So sometimes accidents happen or bad calamities happen. One group of people will get it. So this is how sometimes people suffer in a group. There's one time one group of people, they were going somewhere. Then they noticed, I think, ant-eater enter a hole. So they block the hole so the ant-eater cannot come out. So after, actually they block just for fun only. So after 1 week, they recall the ant-eater is blocked and trapped inside the hole. So after 1 week, they go and release. So eventually they have to suffer because they also have to encounter being caught for 7 days. This is how karma works. You cannot escape one. So of course, if you do a lot of good, certain karma you can escape. You keep on doing good. Buddha say, don't worry, you haven't done anything wrong in the past. Important thing is you realize that it is wrong, and from then on, you do the good deed. Buddha mentioned in the Lamb of Salt Sutta in Anguttara Nikaya, Buddha say, assuming you have a lump of salt, you put it in a small container, maybe in a glass, and pour water and stir, and you try to drink the glass of water. You are not able to drink because it's too salty. But you take the glass of salt and pour it in a bigger container, maybe in a big pail, mix with a lot of water. Probably you can drink because it's a little bit saltish. Because more plain water has been added, so it becomes less salty. So likewise, if you do bad karma and you realize it, you keep on doing good, so that your bad karma will become diluted. So if you suffer the consequences, it's not so bad. Or sometimes the bad karma can be overcome if you do a lot of good. Precept number 2 is you avoid from taking things not given to you. That is, don't steal. So you think people didn't give to you, you don't take. So for monks, we have to be very careful. Because if you accidentally take things of value, you can be destroyed. No? The precept against stealing is very severe. If the things are a bit costly, we can be destroyed. For example, if you find that, one handphone on the ground, and you go pick up, nobody, you take it. So later, if the owner can come and look for it and found that you are in possession of it, and it is quite valuable, we can be destroyed. No joke. So stealing is very serious. Sometimes you steal things you don't know. For example, if you work in the office, after you write already, you put the pen in the pocket, you go home with it. It's also stealing already, because the boss didn't ask you to bring back the pen. You conveniently you bring it back, and you know already. Never mind, one pen only. Then you leave it at home and use. Or maybe you purposely, my pen finished already. I don't want to buy. Take office one. Cannot. This is stealing already. If you want to keep your precept very clean, this is how you do. That's why the parami against stealing also. So if you want to have perfection, please, small thing also don't take. People didn't give to you, you don't take. For example, if you go to supermarket, you see the grape very nice, clean, you pop into the mouth. If nobody asks you to eat, it is stealing. Unless maybe the salesgirl say, auntie, uncle, try lah. This one very sweet lah, very delicious lah, very juicy lah. Then they give it to you to take. Never mind. This one is given to you. And the salesgirl is authorized to give to you. So you can take. So even like software, pirating is also considered stealing. For monks, we are not allowed to use it. If we go and use the Microsoft Office, pirated copy, we are not allowed to use because it's somebody's intellectual property. Fortunately, we got alternative, which is free of charge. So in Myanmar, we all use another program called Ubuntu, Ubuntu. It comes with the whole package. Whatever program you need is all there. When you download the Ubuntu, you download everything, including maybe the word processing, the spreadsheet, presentation, then the video editing, everything is inside the Ubuntu. It's all free of charge. Of course, if you want to contribute, you can. So try not to use pirated CD, pirated software. Use legitimate software. This for monks, maybe for you all also is good to follow. And some people kill because of religious belief. They think that they kill a lot, sacrifice to the God, they'll be saved. But you think it over. You sacrifice others' life for your life. Isn't it a bit selfish? This sort of killing is also killing. For example, last time the Brahmin, they used to kill a lot of animals. Each time the king encountered some problems, they will advise the king, you must sacrifice maybe 500 goats, 500 cows, 500 horses, a lot, sometimes by the thousand. They will tie to a pole called the sacrificial pole. Then they throw dry grass on the ground, a lot of dry grass. Then they set fire to the grass, and as a result, all the animals are burned alive. It's a barbecue the animal alive. Then after they eat. So this is also killing. So if you go to the restaurant, seafood restaurant, you go and order, let's say live crab, this is also killing. The Buddha said, to eat meat, we have to fulfill 3 conditions. Number 1, we do not kill or order somebody to kill. Number 2, we don't see the killing. Number 3, we don't hear the animal screaming for help. So if you can fulfill this condition, no killing is involved. So if you want to eat the sea flower crab. Don't eat the live crab, because the crab, the sea crab, when you bring it up, it's already dead. The live crab is still alive when you order. Or if you want to order clam, most of it is still alive. You can still move a little bit. So if you order it, then they pour hot water on it or they cook it, it's killing it. And you are the cause of the killing. So try to avoid eating this sort of live thing. Then next one is not to engage in sexual misconduct. The purpose is to make you be content with your husband or wife. So if you already have a wife, don't go outside and look for other women. Or if you already have a husband, don't go out and look for other men. This is called sexual misconduct. Here there is a story about a prince during the reign of Brahmadatta in Benares. This Brahmadatta got 100 over princess because he got a lot of wife. Because a king, each time they find a girl they like, they will marry. So there's no law how many wives you can marry in the past. As long as you can afford, you can. The woman willing to marry you, you can marry. So this prince was a number 100 prince, and this prince is very generous. He used to dana a lot of monks. So he used to dana a lot of Pachika Buddha also. But now there's no Pachika Buddha because the Buddha Sasana is still around. As long as the Buddha Sasana is around, they cannot be any Pachika Buddha. A Pachika Buddha is a person who becomes enlightened on his own effort. So now the Buddha's teaching around. So whoever got enlightened also enlightened because of the Buddha's teaching. So one day he asked a Pachika Buddha, do I have a chance to become a king? The Pachika Buddha said, no way lah, you are number 100. Number 100, of course, when the king dies, it will go to the eldest son or the more older son. You will got chance. But by the time the chance comes, maybe you die already. You got no chance. But if you want to become a king, there is a place you can go. It's called a place called Gandhara, about 2,000 leagues. 2,000 leagues, 1 league is about 5.556 km. So 2,000 leagues is 11,111 km. 111 km, so far away. And you must reach the place in 7 days. If you can go there within 7 days, you can become the king of that place, Takas. Near there is a place called Takasila. Last time during the Buddha's time, Takasila is a very famous university. Not the Buddha's university, because last time Buddhism just started. This is the Brahmin university. So, but the road is very dangerous. Through there, you have to pass through villages, a few villages where there are a lot of yaka and yakini. Yakini means female yaka. But the prince want to go because he want to become a king. He so very much desire to be a king. Okay, then he told the Pachika, okay, I will go. I will go there. So he asked the Pachika Buddha for some protection. So the Buddha gave him a charm string, a string which he has already recited, and some charm sand. Charm sand is still very popular in Sri Lanka. So after that, he went back to bid goodbye to his father, mother, and brothers. But then a few brothers, 5 brothers, insist in following him. He already warned them, it's very dangerous. You have to pass through a lot of danger, especially yaka, yakini. And these yaka, yakini, they can change the form into like very beautiful girl to ensnare you, to buy your heart. So, but the brother insists, so okay lor, if you want to follow, you follow lor. So the next day, early morning, they set out the journey to Takasila. Along the way, maybe around halfway, they come across the very beautiful girl. Then just like the story of monkey god and Tupac Kwai. So one of the brothers saw the yakini and he thought it's a girl and was very captivated by her. They say, and want to be with her. They say, "Ayo, I'm tired lah. Walk the whole day. Walk the whole day, so tired already. My leg also pain already. So he asked the brother to go first. Later he continue. Or if he don't want to continue, he will go back lah. So the brother already warned him, these are yakini, not girl. But he insists. So no choice, so have to leave him. So the minute they were outside, he was eaten up by the yakini. So left only 4 brothers. So the next day, they continue with the journey. And halfway through, they heard very lovely music, heavenly music, very nice to hear. So one of the brothers who like music, you see, I'm so tired. Same story. So tired. Whole day walking, 2 days walking non-stop. I need a rest. I'm going to die. My leg is killing me. So he persuaded the brother to leave him behind. And the brother persuaded him to carry on because these are yakini. You look yesterday, your brother eaten away by the yakini already. The brother didn't catch up with them, so must be eaten away. Eaten by the yakini. So the brother, this brother say, "Never mind, you just continue lah. I can't go with you anymore lah. I take a rest. Maybe after that I'll turn back already." So no choice, so have to leave him because it will delay the journey if they wait for him. So they go. So the mean they go for listen, they hear him scream already. And turn around, we saw he was eaten away by the yakini. So 2 brothers gone, leaving only 3 brothers. So they carry on the journey, and on the 3rd day, they happen to smell very nice food. What are the food that has very strong smell? I can only think of laksa. Laksa. Sometimes the laksa is so nice. Some people cannot resist. This one is more nicer than laksa. It's heavenly food, extremely nice. So one mother say, "Ayo, I'm hungry lor." Hungry lor. 3rd day already, what we eat so little. I'm so hungry, I cannot. I'm going to get gastric already. So he insists in stay behind. So no choice. The other brother had to continue the journey. So the minute they went off the short distance, the yakini eat him away, leaving only 2 brothers. So they 1, 2, 3, 4. Then after that, the 4th day, after some time, they smell something very nice, nicer than perfume, very nice, very heavenly smell. So same thing, one of the brother cannot resist the smell, maybe some feminine smell, he gets so attracted to it. So also left behind, and after that also eaten by the Yakini, leaving one brother to accompany that prince. So after the next day, on the 5th day, they happen to come across magic show, and lovely divine to lie down on to watch the show. Wow, this brother also cannot tahan, he cannot stand. So also insists on leaving behind. So no choice lah, because he cannot afford to wait for them. He have to reach Takasila within 7 days. So he leave behind, and short a while, also the brother got eaten by the Yakini. So leaving him alone. So the next day happened is the prince was traveling alone. Then a Yakini in the form of a very, very pretty girl followed him. So the prince keep on running because he has to go 11,111 km, So keep on running, and it's quite near to the village, to the town already. So along that place there are more human beings already. So the men or the people, when they see the girl chasing after the prince, they ask her, hey, why don't you wait for your wife? Wait for your wife now, why you run so fast? He said, this is not my wife, this is Yakini, you want to eat me. So Yakini very clever. Hey, men like this one, quarrel a little bit, the wife say, I'm a Yakini. So he don't bother, he keep on running because number one, he's very steadfast. He's not like the other brother who give way to the weaknesses. He is very strong, he is very steadfast. So he keep on running. Then after that, the Yakini pretend to be pregnant. So the people say, hey, wait for your pregnant wife. How can the pregnant lady walk so fast? Wait for her. So he don't want to wait. I say, this is not my wife, this is Yakini. He has eaten my 5 brothers already. Have been eaten by the Yakini. I must faster run. So cannot convince the people. The next thing is, he pretend was she has given birth to a child, and she was holding the child, whereas the prince was running. So when people see him running, people say, wait for a wife, or at least help her to carry the baby. You cannot allow your wife to carry the baby and run after you. So he explained to them, not the wife, and not his child. She is a Yakini. So finally, he reached the edge of the forest already. He reached the edge of the forest, so at least he's safe already. So the Yakini also clever turn back into a girl just follow her, follow him. Then he want to shake off the Yakini, the Yakin. So the people say, hey, why don't you wait for your wife? He explained to them that it's not the wife, it's Yakini. So they still don't believe. So after that, the king of Takasila came up. He was rounding the city, and out of the city little bit, he went out into the countryside, he looked around and saw the Yakini. Wow! At once he was so captivated by the Yakini. So he asked the people to find out about the Yakini. So they found that no they say that is the prince wife, but the prince denied it's not his wife. So they okay let her come in and be my wife . So the king took her in as a queen. So when he go inside the palace at time, She told the king, no, I am the youngest, no, I'm the youngest queen. Huh? Oh, definitely the other queen will want to bully me. Let me be in charge of the city. So the king said, no, I cannot allow you. I'm not even in charge of the whole city also. So the Yakini said, or at least let me be in charge of the palace. Okay lah, let you be in charge of palace. So after that, the king and the Yakini play around. And after that, tired, they go to sleep already. Immediately, when the king go to sleep, the Yakini fly back to the village and ask all the Yakini to come. When night time, they come. When they come, remember, the Yakini now has control over the palace. The king already given her the consent. So now she control the palace. All the palace people under her already, under her control. So the Yakini eat up all the people in the palace, including all the animals, the chicken, the dog, the cat, everything they eat away. So the next morning, they call the guy to open the gate. Call nobody out, nobody. So they force open the gate. Force open the gate. Ayo, they see skeleton all over, eaten away by the Yakini. So they say, oh, this prince is very steadfast, very brave. We make him the king. So on the 7th day, he was made the king of Takasila. So the moral of the story is be steadfast. Don't be a weakling. When you hold precept, don't be swayed by temptation. Especially when, let's say, a man or in the office, the man and the woman happen to work overtime. Sometimes they also do some nonsense. Or you see something, you are so tempted to steal. So be steadfast in your precept. Apamana dina sampadeta. Strive on with diligence. Take your precept seriously. So the other precept is telling lies. Try to avoid telling lies. Because if you tell lies too often, people cannot trust you. Try to speak the truth. And especially if we monks, if we tell lies, it is no good. Because in the sutta that we usually chant, at the end of the sutta, there is usually a verse, etena satchavatena, by the power of this truth. So if we are used to telling lies, where you got the truth? So in that case, the chanting you do, no effect on, no substance. So we have to make sure that we don't tell lies. And we are not only not allowed to tell lies, we have to be very truthful. For example, during our Patimokkha, before the Patimokkha, they will make a few announcements. One of the announcements is, if you have done anything wrong and you didn't disclose, that tantamount to a lie. Lying is no good for a practice. So telling lies is very serious. Even though we cannot be defrauded, but it is no good. So avoid telling lies. Then the last one is, but also you try to don't speak divisive speech law. Like let's say there are two group of people who are very good friends, and you go and tell tales, carry tales, you go and carry tales. You tell A, B talk this thing about you. After that, B and A become enemy. Yeah, breaking up people. Some people like to do that. I don't know why. Uh, like to carry tales. Cannot keep secret. uh, cannot keep secret one. They must tell whatever they hear. Yeah, sometimes it's true, but the consequences is not good. So you try to avoid abusive speech also. Meaning you talk, you scold people, very harsh word. And sometimes all the obscene word also come out. And the next one is gossip. No? Try to avoid gossip. So these are the moral precepts that as a lay person we are supposed to keep. Then of course, if you are more virtuous, you want to keep 8 precepts, so much the better. So especially on weekend, if you are not working, you can go to the temple. Certain temple got facility for to stay. Then some temple don't have facility to stay. Maybe you go very early lah. You go very early in the morning. Take before breakfast. You take request for 8 precept. Then at the end of the day, almost night already, you can change back to 5 precept and go home. So at least you got many hours of keeping 8 precept. 8 precept is number 6 is you avoid taking solid food. Afternoon, after midday. Our noon now is around 1:05. Every day the noon change. But if you don't want to be so particular, you can just take 1 o'clock as the noon. No? Because our time has been changed already. Last time used to be 12 noon. But because last time our XPM already changed the time to be faster than other people, so that when we do business, we will be ahead. So the time has been changed. So like in Thailand, they still maintain at 12 noon. We haven't changed. Even Indonesia have to retain at 12 noon. So the time is very relative because the Buddha didn't say the time. The Buddha just say don't eat at wrong time. So the Buddha didn't say the actual time. Wrong time means maybe the food is not available, you don't eat lah. So for your lay people, normally lunchtime is 12, is 1 p.m. So maybe 1 p.m. you eat until you finish, then after that you don't eat anymore. No? If you are used to eating at 1 p.m. So time is very relative. But of course, in a monastery, in a temple where there are few monks, then we have to set a standard. Otherwise, this monk, why this monk stop eating at 12? This monk stop eating at 1. This monk stop eating at 1:05. So for monastery, for temple, they must set a standard. So the time is very relative. And last time, even the Arahant can even eat at night. There's one time one monk at night he came up for Pitapat. When we come up for Pitapat, we are not begging. We begging in the sense that you ask for things. But when we go out for Pitapat, we are only giving a chance for lay people to do dana. So we just stand quietly with our eyes around the bowl. Normally you don't look here, look there. We can't do this. We look within a short range. So sometimes we can notice the devotee coming near, then we can open the bowl cover, let them put the food in. So we don't open our mouth. So one evening or one night already, there's one Bhikku went out for Pinapat. So as we go Pinapat, we are not allowed to talk. We cannot knock on people's door. Hello, hello, got food or not? No, we have to stand quietly. So if after some time, nobody come out, no food is given, we move on to the next house. That's how we do Pinapata. So this monk stand outside people's house, and suddenly the owner of the house opened the door and want to come out, and was shocked to see a person standing there, especially with our head bald and the moonlight shining, reflecting the light. I was shocked. So the person report to the Buddha, complain to the Buddha. So after that, the Buddha say, from now on, we don't eat dinner. We only eat our lunch as our last meal. So even during the Buddha time, where got watch, where got clock. So probably they just estimate midday only. So time is actually very relative. So you don't eat after midday, then you don't decorate yourself, like putting on lipstick, putting on some pendant, whatever, or wearing very nice clothes. So usually when you observe 8 you wear simple clothes. Some temple require to wear all white. Some temple require to wear maybe the bottom, especially the Thai one, they wear all white. The Myanmar one, they wear the bottom brown and the top white. But in our Pa'au monastery, we are not particular about the dress. As long as you wear decently, comfortably, you are allowed. Some people who are quite new, they don't know, they just wear anything, and we allow them. As long as your mind is clean, you don't mean to decorate yourself, we allow you to wear any clothes, any color also can. Then you don't listen to music, watch show, abstain from beautifying your body, and abstaining from show. Then the last one is abstaining from high and luxurious bed. So these are the 8 precepts. So if you want to go further, it's 10 precepts, but actually it's only 9 precepts. And it's not very suitable for lay people. But the 10 precept, number 10, is to abstain from owning cash and money. So what they do is precept number 6 remain the same. Precept number 7 is divided into 7 and 8. 8 precept become precept number 9. So additional 1 precept only. Precept number 10. So if you have the time and if you wish, you can go to the temple or monastery to observe 8 precept. Of course, you can also practice at home. The Buddha didn't specify that you must go to the temple. But of course, in the temple, it's more conducive. Because if you stay at home, sometimes your children or your partner play music, or your parents want to listen to story. So it may be a bit distracting. Or sometimes they want to watch TV, watch show. So it's very distracting. So it's better to go to the temple. Unless you are living alone. Living alone, you can control all these things. You shut down everything. You practice your 8 precepts. But of course, you must have self-discipline. After that, I want to watch news only. News, Buddha didn't say can or cannot. because news for you to know outside things. So sometimes important and often. So you want to watch news after followed by, oh, this show are very nice, or maybe short while only. So the discipline has to come in. So okay, now it's time for our Q&A session. Okay, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, 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 Venerable. Thank you, Venerable, for sharing those very interesting story and teachings on the importance of observing the 5 precepts with right understanding and, of course, the actions, and how it can also help to minimize the effects of those bad karma that we had accumulated. So we have come to now the Q&A. Brother Yik, you from Liang Ming, our regular. How can one strike a balance between performing dana and doing meditation? Thank you, Bante.
I think you don't have to strive with balance. The more you do, the better. The more you do, the better. If you got time, you try to meditate. Then also, if you got time, you also do dana. Of course, if you got, let's say you go for a retreat, maybe you can do ask someone to do dana on your behalf lah. Can pass the thing to your friend, or can pass money to the friend, or you can also bring it earlier to the temple for dana. Then you can continue your meditation. You try your best uh, to sort it out lah. Meditation is very good. Of course, meditation is the highest merit, higher than dana. But doesn't mean that you don't do dana, because if you don't completely ignore dana, then it's very bad. Because last time also there's one monk, when he become a monk also, when he go for pindabat, he got nothing to eat. He can't find any food. So people have to help him. Even on his during his last day, also people have to help him. Very pitiful. No food to eat. So you must try to achieve both lah. But of course, like I said just now, meditation is the highest merit.
Thank you, Bante. Bante, by just observing the 5 precepts, will we be able to be liberated from samsara?
Oh, not possible. To be liberated from samsara means nibbana already. So you have to do the dana as well as your meditation. Just sila don't cannot get. Of course, they help lah. If they help very much, you still have to do your meditation. Then still have to do your dana. So meditation, you will at least clear a lot of your doubts lah.
Okay. Thank you, Venerable. Venerable, for a layperson, I think Okay, yeah, I think this one could be quite interesting. Venerable, for a layperson to observe the 5 precepts is already so difficult. How does a Venerable Bhikkhu observe the 227 Vinaya rules?
Oh, actually, for me, no problem lah. A lot of things that you cannot do, you don't do lah. No, because we are so the 5 precepts, you some people find very difficult, but actually there's no problem. And all the 227 precepts, actually a lot of the precepts are training rules. Some are, how to say, come a custom, Like, for example, one of the Vinaya, we cannot, like, when you give Dhamma talk, we must be higher than the lay people. This is very easy. In fact, most of the Vinaya is easy. Like, we cannot spit on trees or those live plant. We cannot do that. So it teach you how to be a better person also. Not difficult lah. Then like when you go up, you must wear your robe properly. So I find it all this very not difficult at all. Not difficult at all.
Because I think that's why the numbers, the 5 and the 227 seems to be quite big numbers. Is it?
A lot of things are just I would say common sense or good behavior. Good behavior. Like for example, when you eat, we cannot bite the food. Because last time when they eat, they do the rice into a ball, They do a rice in a ball, then they put in the mouth. So sometimes they do too big, then you have to bite. So not so nice we do this. So I find all the precept not the issue
Okay.
Important is we must know the precept, then we don't transgress it That's why before become a monk, you have to become a samanera first. Then you learn all the precept first. Then when you are familiarized with it, then the preceptor will only ordain you as a bhikkhu. So it's not difficult.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Venerable, for what they call clarifying that. Okay, Brother Leong Yuming again. What is the significance and benefit between taking the 5 precept and 8 precept?
So actually, the more precept you take, of course, the better better So like for example, the precept number 6, if you are, let's say, in a monastery, there is no necessity to eat after midday like us. There's no necessity because we don't do any hard work, so we won't get hungry. So, and also through training, initially you may find it a bit difficult, but after some time, don't eat dinner, no issue. Before I was a monk, I also so we learn to not to entertain ourselves be contented so don't be influenced by outside things. So then we feel contented Then the other one is rule 7, 6, 7, 8. Don't sleep on luxurious bed only, so try to sleep on more harder lah, harder bed lah. So now we use to sleep on fiber bed or sleep on without mattress also can. Last time when I was young also I sleep without mattress. So back to old days. So there is a sutta about observing a precept. Uh, the Buddha say on the 2 days before the Upo Saturday, the minister of the four great kings come down to observe the world to see who observe precept and be faithful to parents. Then on one day before the Upo Saturday, the prince of the king come down and observe. And on the Upo Saturday, the four great kings come and observe. So if more people observe a precept, then they are happy lah, because more people will be born in heaven. So this give you the idea that if you observe a precept, you will be born in heaven. No? In the Anguttara Nikaya is mentioned.
Okay, thank you, Venerable. Okay, I think we don't have any more questions. Okay, thank you, Bhante. Thank you, Venerable, for sharing those very interesting and insightful answers to those few questions. And I think it clarifies some of our doubts or our understanding. So, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, over the last 1 hour, we have spent our time with a calm, attentive, and peaceful state of mind, listening to the Dhamma. And with the merits we have all accumulated, we would like to request Venerable to lead us in the sharing of those merits we had all accumulated with our loved ones and departed relatives and friends. Venerable, over to you.
Okay. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Inam no punya bagam. We share these merits with Mata Pitu Nancha, our mother and father, Acharya Nancha, our teachers, Sabha Satanancha, all beings, Sabha Mitanancha, our friends, Sabha Natinancha, our relative, Sabha Pitanancha, all departed beings, Sabha Deva Nanta Bhajema, and all Devas. Imam no Punya Bhagam, we share this merit with Sabha Satandema. May all beings obtain a share of these merits. Sabha Satan Sukhi Hontu. May all beings be well and happy. Idam me dinam hotu Sukita hontunya tayo. Let these merits accrue to my relative and friends. May they be happy. Imina punyaka mena bame bala samagamo satam samagamo hotu yavanibbanapatiya. By the grace of these merits that I have thus acquired, may I never follow the foolish, but only the wise and the enlightened one, until final liberation is realized. Inam me punyam asawa tayam waham hotu. May these merits of mine lead me to the extinction of all mental defilement. Idam me punyam nibbanasa pacayoho tu. May these merits of mine be a condition to attain enlightenment. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much, Venerable. And also thank you to all who had participated in this evening session. And before we end, let us put our palm together to pay homage to the Triple Gem. Buddham Pujemi, Dhammang Pujemi, Sangham Pujemi. So thank you very much. We have come to the end of our Wednesday evening Dhamma sharing. Please visit us again next Wednesday at the same time, 8:30. So Venerable will be sharing his part 11, which is the second last of this series talk. So hope to see you next week. And may all of you be well, happy, and peaceful always. Sabe, Sata, Sukita Hontu. Good night, everybody.
Bahong sahan semabhinim mitesayudantang ngirimi kelang udita Sasene marang Dana di Dhamma vidina Jitwa munindo